Thanks for joining us on Behind the Spotlight. I am Crystal Lampett, and I am so excited to have Madisen Ward and the Mama Bear in studio tonight. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So you've probably heard of these guys around town, but we're going to give you a little sneak peek at some of the songs that you maybe have not heard them perform yet. And we're kicking it off with Molly Drake. Take it away, guys.
I've been listening to records of the dead men spill. I've been listening to 45s playing at a 33 speed. Well, is it better for me? And is it better for them? Is this how it should be? A true legacy can never learn how to swim until you're in the world. Well, Molly Drake raising Nicky in the kitchen of her home. It sounds like a legend giving birth and raising up a legend of her own. Well, is it better for her? And is it better for him? To live in a world that's all you heard and never cared where you've been until you went away. You're not safe walking on the bottom of the river. Is it hard? Well, every step of the way. Well, Molly Drake, you're not safe walking on the bottom of the river. Is it hard? Well, every step of the way. Well, oh, Nikki, what you wanna be a music maker for? It sounds like they're only loving you and you ain't making music anymore. Is it better for me? Better leave it alone. How the music could be if the needle was free to make decisions on its own. They wanna shoot you down. They wanna shoot you down. Is this how it should be? A true legacy can never learn how to swim until you're in the ground.
And that was Molly Drake by Madisen Ward and the Mama Bear. And I gotta ask, you know, I know you do most of the songwriting. Who's Molly Drake?
This is really random, this song, but it's Nick Drake is a musician who I love, inspired by, and Molly Drake was his mother, who played, she was a just beautiful singer, and Nick Drake is someone who, even though a lot of people are aware of him, he, you know, he committed suicide before everyone was really able to figure out who he was or discover that he was a genius with the music that he made. And so the song is kind of from that aspect of his mother, but it's also from the aspect, it's all about like these legends who don't become legends until they pass away. So that's kind of what that song's about, yeah.
That does make more sense, because I was kind of listening to the lyrics like, who is this mysterious person?
Right.
And it sounds almost like I could sense this feeling of loss, but I didn't know the background story. Yeah. And did you know Molly Drake? Did you know kind of the context of where the story came from?
I did.
That's amazing. So tell me a little bit more about the writing process, because I know that you really collaborate and make it your own, and his writing evolves into a song. Does Madisen ever write something that you kind of then re-experience? Like, I remember going through that in my 20s, or does that ever happen with you guys?
A little bit, I think. But, you know, we have a song that's going to be on the new record, and it's called Oh, my brain went.
Which
the one that you wrote about my family.
Oh yeah, Family Treason.
Family Treason, yeah. And that was about my story. And it's really incredible to have your son write a song about your story, you know, growing up.
How did you feel about him capturing that?
It was great. It was, I couldn't believe he captured it. He did a great job.
How did that work for you? Did you, I mean, are you just basing this off of your observations?
Usually never, which is interesting because Molly Drake is one of the few songs that is kind of in a deeper theme, and that's one of the few. So I'm actually, yeah, I've never been asked what that song was about, and I thought to myself, wow, I sound like a songwriter, like an actual songwriter.
You are.
But usually the stuff that I write comes from just a fictional place or more of like capturing like a mood or just a story that I like to write because I like.
Family Treason came from me though.
Exactly, and that's one of the few ones that comes from a real story that's about her growing up and
leaving home
real young, but usually it's never that personal.
It's not always that cut and dry. It sounds like there's definitely a lot more creativity involved. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing more about your background. We will be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Behind the Spotlight. I'm here with Madisen and Ruth from Madisen Ward and the Mama Bear, and we were just kind of talking about some of your inspiration. I know it sounds like for you, you kind of focus on developing the melody first.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's really like I'm a melody person. I like melodies that are timeless, and that's the first thing I hear whenever I'm listening to any musician or band that I love. It's sometimes I don't hear the lyrics until years later, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what that guy was talking about, you know. But it's the melody that grabs me, and so I love to focus on that whenever it comes to our music. It just has to be like a little something that they can whistle home in the car or something like that, you know.
Sounds like something that you grasp onto.
Yeah.
What were you playing for him when he was growing up?
Oh, we listened to a lot of eclectic type music, a lot of folk. We listened to R&B. We listened to just Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young and things like that. So, and we exposed him to Tom Waits, and
a lot of people out of that Laurel Canyon era.
Yeah,
do you remember this? Like, do you remember hearing this in your household?
Yeah, definitely.
Joni Mitchell.
Yeah, I remember all of it, but I didn't love it whenever I was younger, though. I didn't like it until later, like about when I'm like graduating high school almost, and you go back and you hear all these different artists, and you're like, wow, this was, you know, this. I think I always maybe loved it inherently. I don't know, because once you start playing music for yourself, you find yourself delving into all the stuff that your parents ever played for you. It's not uncool, the stuff that you know. Well,
I think you're less concerned about coolness, so there is sort of a latent interest and appreciation for those really timeless artists.
Exactly.
Which I hear a lot in your guys' sound, which I think is so neat that you guys can collaborate that way. Okay, so I do want to get into, because I'm hearing some funny stories about you guys, and I want to make sure we get to them.
No.
But the first one I have to ask about, because I'm sure you've had some adventures on the road together. You've done quite a bit of traveling. Tell me about heckling Kanye. This is a Ruth story.
This is a Ruth story. You want to tell?
Well, no, you can tell my little story. It's a weird bird story.
Okay, I've told this story before, but I really love telling this story. So this is, we were at this Google conference in Phoenix, Arizona, and all these different people were being interviewed for this big conference, and we're all in this small room, this white room, and you could hear a pin drop in this room, and Morgan Spurlock, the guy who did Super Size Me, he's interviewing everyone. We do our interview, we do a little performance, we're done. Kanye's at the end, he brings his own interviewer.
Yeah, he's not going to go with everybody. He's going to have his own thing.
Yeah,
interesting.
They told us, they said, this is our last guest for today, but I promise you it will be the most interesting. And I was like, all right.
Did you know it was going to be Kanye?
I did know it was going to be Kanye, yeah. And he comes out and he's talking for a while, and they ask him, do you think Michael Jackson is the best performer of all time? And Kanye goes, and my mom just very quietly, I mean, well, she did this loudly, but the room was so quiet. She goes, so I hear my mom do that, and I immediately go, huh? And I'm like, oh, wow, people can. MC Hammer is on her right, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
That was random. And then a little more time passes, very quiet, and my mom goes, you got to think about it, huh? And I was like, no.
Do you think he heard you?
He might have, because he was staring right at me, and my mom leans in and is like, why is he looking at you? I said, you tell me.
I messed up.
No, I loved it, though. I mean, that's like the coolest thing.
But the important question is, did you make Kanye smile?
No, he wasn't smiling.
Kanye hasn't smiled in 7 years.
No.
I know. But how amazing would that be for Ruth to be the woman who finally makes him break his...
Kanye was too cool. He was too cool.
He's always been too cool.
Yeah,
too cool.
He's too cool. He had to have his own interviewer and everybody. I was just amazed. I thought.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the room was so small too. It's just everybody had to hear it.
And to be fair, I think there's also some, I don't want to say entitlement, but I think with age comes wisdom, and you're also allowed to kind of say whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's gonna look at Ruth over here and be like, oh, I should say something to her. Besides
I'll
you,
say it.
family. But I mean, I would be respecting. You know.
Whenever we're on the road and we're with the bandmates and the tour manager, like they know to just. Whatever you say, they're not going to
smile and nod.
Yeah, I'll be like, "Come on, guys," and they're like, "We're not teaming up with you." Oh, yeah. But that's her and I. We bicker all the time.
Mother son. Yeah, it's a different dynamic.
Yeah,
it is. It absolutely is.
Definitely.
And I know that you first kind of got one of your first tastes of the big bright lights on one of David Letterman's last shows, which was pretty amazing. And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Tell me about what happened after the Letterman show.
Well, whenever we were done performing, he walks over to us in that video. He walks over, and I say in that video, but we were there.
I think she's talking about
it was an out-of-body experience.
Oh yeah, well this was exactly.
They were gonna drag you off to jail.
That's right. We were after the show. We get into an Uber and we drive for a little while. And there's like a turn that you can't make, an illegal turn for some reason. Construction.
You're in an Uber, you said.
We're in an Uber.
Yeah.
And a policeman was behind the Uber driver, and he was saying, I guess into his radio, don't make that turn.
And he made it.
And the Uber driver didn't really know what was happening, and he just starts making the turn anyway. And so he makes it, and then sure enough, they turn on the lights, and we have to pull over, and we're just coming off this Letterman high.
Right.
And the cops get out, and everyone roll down the windows, and we're like,
it was real mean.
Really?
It was crazy. And he goes up to the Uber driver and says, he said, why did you make that turn when I told you not to? And the Uber driver doesn't speak very good English, but he starts pointing to the rest of us in the car. And I'm thinking, oh no, we're all going to jail.
He's going to pin this on you, yeah.
And they said, so the reason you made that turn when I told you not to was because of everybody in your car? And he just goes, no. That was all he did. It was just, no. It's like, I tried. Defeated. Are you guys going to corroborate? No? All right, no.
But it didn't work. Maybe he was trying to be like, I got Madisen Ward and the Mama Bear in this car. Don't you know who these people are?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, look, we're going to tell ourselves that.
He's like, I just got them off of Letterman.
No, he didn't know where he picked us up from.
But nobody went to jail.
No one went to jail.
My daughter was with us, and she was scared. Like, I can't believe I'm going to jail in New York.
Yeah. Like, right after Madisen Ward and the Mama Bear, Letterman, and now they're in jail. Yeah.
Did they actually write him a ticket? Did you guys get away with it?
I think they
wrote him a ticket.
Yeah. It was.
Man.
It made for a fun night.
So in a few years, you guys can pull the Madisen Ward and the Mama Bear card, maybe. Maybe then you can be like, I'm famous, so we get out of it.
We don't roll like that.
If I get pulled over,
I'm sure you don't.
We're taking our licks.
But one day, if somebody recognizes you, I mean.
Well, if we can get a free meal out of the deal, great.
Well, you said a free meal. She's talking about a free meal ticket and not go to jail.
You get a meal in jail?
Yeah,
get a free meal.
He's like, can we get a free meal? You'll get your meal in jail. Let's make this way. That's great.
I love hearing all the on-the-road stories. You have traveled quite a bit. I know you went to Dublin. You've gotten to go to the UK. What's been your favorite city so far that you've had a chance to visit?
Well, not in Europe. Europe is beautiful, though, and I love Belgium and all. But my favorite city in the States is North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Yes,
Why
it's
is
beautiful.
Okay.
The Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's just a beautiful city.
I
mean, the state.
The state is a beautiful state. How about, would you agree?
No.
Where's your favorite
North
spot?
Carolina is beautiful.
Sure.
It's really beautiful.
But I think we went to...
I don't think you have a spot.
I don't have a spot.
You don't have a spot.
I got a spot. It's some spots you don't know about.
Oh.
No. We went
Things
to.
you don't know about, Mom.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mom could care less about those spots.
No, I think we went to Scotland, and that was a really cool. That was a beautiful place, and I had never seen anything like that. And so much stuff that's.
It was pretty.
Everything's so old over in Europe. You know, buildings and structures.
There's a lot of history there.
Yeah, and
Lots of history.
It's really hard to not appreciate that when you go. It's really, you know, breathtaking. So,
and while you were traveling at one point, you know, lots of flights, was there a moment where you actually had to perform on an airplane?
yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about
well,
that.
what happened was we had this long flight home.
Yeah.
This is
And I
great.
thought, you know, I'm up at...
And home is still Kansas City, is that correct?
Yeah, Independence,
We're
yeah,
still
Kansas
based in
City.
Kansas City. Okay.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll just practice my guitar. So my husband said, I don't think you can do that on this plane.
We're coming back from Manchester. This was
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a legit,
Yeah.
that's a probably, what, 8-hour flight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And he said, I don't think you could do that. And I said, well, let me ask the stewardess. So we asked the stewardess, and they said, you can't practice up here among everybody, but you can go to the back. So I thought, that's even better. Go to the back. Their back meant in the kitchen with them.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm back there and I'm playing and talking with them, and they say, well, where's your son? Get him back here to play.
And then so they say, all right, well, yeah, go get him. Now, I don't sleep on flights, but this was my first time I ever fell asleep like on an airplane. And so I just nodded off, and I felt great. And I just feel this tap
She ruined
on my
it for
shoulder,
you.
and I'm like, and it's one of the
Stewardess.
it was, yeah, and she tells me, yeah, your mom's in the back. She wants to play with you. She wants to play music. I was like, wait, how does this? Are you allowed to wake people up?
He told them no, and then they
told them
came
no.
back and they said, your mom said no. I mean, your son said no.
And they came back up to me again.
They came
and
back
said,
up again. You
She
got
really
it.
wants you to play. So I was like, took the seatbelt off, walked back, and we ended up playing like a show for
We
like
did a little show
bunch of
for the
people.
stewardess.
No,
No
People that
kidding.
stood in line.
yeah, a bunch of people started coming out.
It was great. And it was really neat, and they really appreciated it to the point where they when we landed, they said, we want to thank Madisen Ward and Mama Bear for playing
No
music for
kidding.
us.
Did an announcement, gave us a bottle of champagne that they put
Yeah.
in a little plastic so you can get through security or whatever.
What?
Yeah. I was like, all right.
Really?
I'm going to take
They were
your
very
lead.
nice. Yeah, it was neat.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was going to happen like that, but it did, and it was great.
Somebody got that on video somewhere, but it's just a lot of plane noise.
It sounds like, oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
It didn't quite turn into like the viral video sensation.
No. This is not a sensation.
I bet
it was
that, but
fun.
you know, imagine, you know, also being a flight attendant and going on these long flights day in and day out. They probably like really loved having a change of pace.
Yeah, they all seemed to
did.
be really on board with it, and
And they were singing along on some songs that they knew, because I did some covers for them, and they were singing along, so they were all into it. I bet you people thought,
30,000 feet.
where's my wine?
show. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
but it was
All right,
neat.
last question before we get to your guys' last song. Because you are a mother-son duo, and it's kind of like a family business. Do you have any tips for other people who maybe run kind of a family business? How to keep it going smooth?
I don't know. I guess
Well,
it's just,
not take yourself too serious,
Yeah.
and realize that it's not the end of the world, and even when you have a problem, you can get over them, and just really keep going. Just keep going.
and also just be honest with each other. I mean, with us playing out in public, we sometimes forget that it's almost not looked at as a family business because we're just like business partners. So I don't know if our advice works for like a father and son owning a pizzeria or something.
Right.
But just being really honest and having respect and, you know, enjoying the ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be honest. Have a sense of humor.
Oh, yeah,
Enjoy
you
each
need a
other.
lot of
Family
that.
first, right?
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank
We'll be
you.
right back after this. Welcome back to Behind the Spotlight. We have been hanging out here with Kansas City natives, Madisen Ward and the Mama Bear, and we do have one more song for you. But before we get to that, I want to make sure that everybody knows where they can find your music.
Okay. They can find it on Spotify, as well as record stores.
Record stores everywhere.
iTunes.
iTunes. Yeah.
iTunes. And then you're on all over the social media, right? I know I follow you on Instagram. You've got a Facebook page.
Yeah, all different. You know, there's a website with stores and all that. You can buy merchandise or not buy merchandise, and
Whatever you feel like.
yeah, whatever you, yeah, and so, but yeah, we're connected, we're linked in.
Got it. All right, good to know. Madisen Ward and Mama Bear, one more song, and this one is called Long Time Fool. Take it away.
I've got a secret, everybody's got 'em. I tell 'em softly, though I wanna shout. If I ain't guilty, then we got a problem. No forgiveness, take me to the south, 'cause Teddy was a long time fool. Oh, let me go one way, oh, let me go, throw me in the chains. Oh, let me go one way, oh, let me go, nothing gonna change, 'cause Teddy was a long time fool. You got a secret, everybody needs it, so let me keep it, I don't need parole. I got mine, you got yours, we got ours. Let the record show that Teddy was a long time fool. Oh, let me go one way, oh, let me go, throw me in the chains. Oh, let me go one way, oh, let me go, nothing gonna change.